So now I'm going to move to the third Ignite speaker, Vasant Jadav. Vasant Jadav works in the EPAM system as a senior system architect, and he has got extensive experience across cloud computing, software engineering, AML, and ML ops. Vasant today will be speaking on building tool-enabled AI agents with MCP server. Uh, so Vasant, are you going to share screen? So Vasant will today introduce on MCP, the Model Context Protocol, and shows how MCP servers enable AI agents to discover and safely execute tools to a standardized architecture. We hope with this attendees will gain a simple understanding of how MCP helps build scalable, secure, and tool-enabled AI agents. Over to you, Vasant.
Yeah. Are you able to see my slides?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Today I'll be talking about building tool-enabled AI agents with the MCP servers. How this helps unlock seamless AI agents tools integration. So this is about the agenda. Within that, AI systems today are extremely good at understanding languages and the reasoning about tasks. But in real world, agents must do more than just to respond. They must interact with the tools, systems, and enterprise platforms. For example, when we need to retrieve the data or read the file, trigger the workflow. So we need some interpreter. That's where the MCP comes into the picture. I will deep dive into the details. So AI agents are powerful because they can understand a natural language, reasoning about task, and generate a response. But in enterprise environments, agent must go behind conversations. They need to interact with their systems. In enterprise level, the systems are retrieving the information from the knowledge base, or we have the ticketing system. It could be Zira or ServiceNow, where we want to check the status of it, or we want to read a data from specific file from the systems, or we want to query a database, or we want to trigger certain particular deployment pipeline, CI/CD. So these are the real typical enterprise use cases or real-time applicable scenarios. But if you see all these things, traditionally everything will be done, but those are happening through the integration implemented using the custom APIs, SDKs, or middleware services. So those are the things we have it. But when it comes to the AI agents, how these can be used without doing the hardcore work. So that's where the MCP comes into the picture. The MCP standardized protocol for connecting AI agents to tools and the APIs. So instead of building integrations individually inside every application, like authentication, authorization, security, so every time you introduce one tool, every time we have to set up dedicated authentication. But if we are exposing those through the MCP, we don't have to redo all the stuff. One single place will take care of it. Like some of the advantages it does have, like first is standardization. Like it has a consistent pattern. So what's supposed to be the inbound that MCP has to receive, and how it exposing all these tools behind the MCP. And second is dynamical discovery. And when agent makes a call to the MCP, it understands the intent, but what kind of the tool it need to pick up. So make sure it picks the right tool. If in any accidental of picking up the wrong tool, will execution of the wrong workflow. So that in old traditional way, we used to do like hard coding, like URI based routing or path based routing. But in with the MCP world, it has a dynamic discoverability, so it automatically understands the user intent and the purpose of the tool, and it can able to match it, and it put the human in the loop to make sure the governance and safeties are followed. So I'll talk about MCP architecture. If you see in the real world, we use the cloud desktop, cursor. So those are the lot of things in day to day we use it. So those will act as an MCP client, and the MCP host will be the host LLM, the reasoning layer where the orchestration will happens, and the MCP server where it contains all the tools which we keep on adding. Like it could be enterprise APIs or file systems or the knowledge repository, any platforms or the workflow systems. All of the things, these can be part of the MCP. We can leverage, we can expose under the MCP server. So MCP server knows all these tools. The design principle here is to the agent focuses on reasoning and decision making, while MCP servers handles tools executions. Right, so it's MCP. When we talk about to separate it out, it focuses on all about tools execution. Find the right tool and execute it. So I did like small demo on the same one. It's a runtime. It's how MCP works, right? In the real time. So when we do, user types something on the prompt. When something typing on the prompt, right? Let's assume I type something. I want to know my company database. Like in this in Confluence page, we have dedicated page for the some standard to follow to create a ticket. I do not know. If I ask something in ChatGPT, it doesn't give company specific data. But if I go and type in my company, and it has to understand, do I need to go to the outside the world or do I need to look for the company? So that's where MCP comes. When MCP is interprets and discovers, say, is asking something about some company specific steps, let me go and find something Confluence. So that's where it will go, discovers, then and anything something I'm telling about the simple one, but if it's any complicated one like of execution or rewriting or updating the database related, it always has to be approved. So without approval we cannot allow to do any executions. But any read data can be non-sensitive, can be voided without approval. We can directly go for execution and respond. If you see the example, the list the folders on my desktop, the AI agent first interprets the request. The next, the system performs the tool discovery, identify the file system MCP can handle the request before execution of the action. So once approved, the MCP server executes the tools call. If you in this one, so I asked about list of the folders in my directory, and it gave back me all the list of folders which are available on my local system. So this is played around on my local, so it was able to give me back, because I had weather app, 4 to 5 apps, but it understand exactly my intent, and it gave me the response back. To summarize, before MCP, tools integrations were custom and tightly coupled. When every AI systems had to implement its own integration logics, with MCPs, tools becomes a discoverable, reusable, and governed. Um, this allows organizations to build AI agents that can safely interact with real-world systems. If there is one idea to remember from this talk, MCP enables AI agents that can safely and reliably use real tools. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vasant. Again,